dream again. We are the emissaries from the void.
All right, welcome back to Emissaries from the Void.
I'm Ari.
And I'm Tristan.
And
we're just chilling. You know?
Yeah, we just a vibe right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, y'all, this movie, slice of life, but vampires.
Yeah.
Just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
If you just want to watch a movie where two ancient creatures just fucking are depressed and enjoy spending time with each other, that's what this movie is.
Yeah. Yeah. With some good music.
Really good music, honestly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Great sound design. I mean, for a movie where one of the characters is a musician, you want to have good music.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So we're talking about Only Lovers Left Alive, a film by Jim Jarmusch.
Yeah. How do you read that title? Just like first off, like
I've been thinking about it. I started thinking about it when we started watching it, and I still don't really have. Maybe we'll figure it out by the end of this episode. But
yeah, because like, are they the only lovers left alive, or do only lovers
get left
alive?
Yeah.
Given the ending of the film, which we'll get to, maybe the second reading kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
like because they're dead, right? Like
they're undead. Yeah,
yeah. So they're not alive. So how are they lovers if they're the? This is stupid. I'm sorry.
How then are they lovers?
Some big name actors, honestly. Pretty.
Yeah, Tilda Swinton and Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
They're the main couple. And Stephen Wright makes an appearance, which is always welcome.
Mm-hmm. Now, granted, this is 2013, so this is right after Tom Hiddleston did Loki in Avengers. So like he was huge and they got him for this movie, which, you know, a lot of actors do that where they do a really big movie and then they'll do some more indie kind of films just to like make sure that their portfolio remains diverse because they don't want to get typecast. Although Hiddleston disappears into this role. I don't see Loki at all when I look at him. He's a completely he does a really good job of just being very moody and depressed. This movie cost $7 million to make and was a box office bomb because it only made $7.6 million back. Yeah. It is a shame because this movie is a hidden gem, in my opinion.
I mean, Jim Jarmusch doesn't make box office smashes, you know,
No, but you would think at least it would have made a little bit more. This movie's really good. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't make more money.
There's always, you know, distribution, and box office isn't everything, but
that's true. But like 12 years later, this is the first time I've heard of this movie, and I love vampires, so like I had never seen this movie before. I think I'd heard it mentioned before, but I never watched it. So me being a person who likes vampire movie and haven't seen this movie, it's very telling to me. Just like it didn't really get the permeation in the membrane that it should have, because it's really good. I'm kind of sad I haven't seen it till this point. Just watching two people who really love each other. Yeah, that's what I got from it. Just
it's a romantic movie.
It is so romantic. It's not listed as a romance though. It's listed as a horror comedy. But Tristan, you want to tell me what this movie was about?
I would love nothing more. Ari?
Oh, yeah. Y'all, he looked at me like I was holding his wife a ransom.
I'll tell you whatever you want.
Just let her go.
Only Lovers Left Alive. On first watch, it seems like it's kind of a movie about nothing. The plot, such as it is, seems very meandering, and it doesn't like follow typical Hollywood rules of screenwriting in terms of structure or
very postmodernist. It's a very postmodern film. Yeah, I can agree to that.
I watched this for the first time years ago, and going into it this time, I thought I had an idea of what it was saying, but I ended up like completely changing that on this viewing.
Yeah, this movie does that. It's like the whole time I kept kind of like doing this in like my analysis of it. I was like, I don't know what they're trying to.
This is a hand movement going back and forth.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sometimes I forget they can't see me.
Yeah.
I was like oscillating back and forth between different interpretations the whole fucking movie, because it's just like, it's really difficult to find what they're trying to say.
But I think it is actually really like layered, and like the metaphor that it's using the vampires for is really interesting, and kind of in similar territory to the way Sinners uses vampires, but backwards.
Reversed. Yeah. Did I say that? I think I said that.
Yeah, you did.
Reversed. It's Sinners, but Uno reverse card, where Sinners is trying to use the vampires to represent people who don't know how to properly appreciate art, or who pillage what's beautiful in the world and turn it into some kind of hive mind collective understanding of things. And then here the vampires represent people who are trying to keep the fight alive, keep the art alive.
Yeah, in a very like real soulful way. Like they're the ones who can appreciate art and put transformative art back into the world.
They call everybody zombies that aren't vampires.
Well, Adam does, because he's the
Tilda
cynical,
calls
moody one.
Well, Eve calls them zombies too.
Okay.
Zombies is the term they give to humans. Marlowe also calls them zombies.
Okay, all right.
So it's like the thing the vampires are calling people.
Yeah.
And that's very telling to at least the mindset the vampires have about it. Like they clearly like find humans that have that spark in them, and then they invest in them.
Yeah.
So even though they'll be like, oh yeah, you're really creative for a zombie, is what Adam says at one point to someone. And it's like, so they have this mindset about non-vampires, but it's kind of pretentious.
It is. They're kind of the sheeple, the masses.
Yeah. So there is
the normies.
They do have a negative side to them in their interpretation, but the movie overall is saying that art is worth preserving.
Yeah.
And that the passion for art is what makes us go on. Because just to like briefly summarize the plot, because this plot is very straight. Despite the fact it's meandering, it is very straightforward, and it is that Adam is depressed.
Yes.
And Eve, his wife, who's another vampire, finds out that he's depressed and decides to come visit him in Chicago or Detroit. Detroit, yeah. Comes to visit him in Detroit. And then they have just kind of conversations back and forth. Eventually, Eve's sister Ava shows up, causes a whole scene, kills somebody, and they have to flee back to where Eve lives, which is in Tangier. And then the movie ends with them having to figure out a new blood situation, and then ends with them killing turning a couple basically at the end.
Because like the Cullens, these are ethical vampires, and they only drink ethically sourced blood. But there's another layer to it, because they say that so much of the blood like in the zombies is contaminated at this point.
That it makes them sick.
Yeah, they have to be careful about where they get it.
Right. So it's like, are they really ethical about it, or are they really just trying to? It's their self-interest that makes them have to be ethical about their blood consumption? Because if they get a person with clean blood, they have to make sure that source is maintained. They can't just drain a person with good blood, because then that person won't be around anymore to continue to provide blood for them.
Yeah.
Eve's hookup for blood is some French doctor. And then Adam's hookup is just some shady hospital doctor.
Yeah.
Who steals the fucking show. He's played by
Stephen Wright.
Yeah, and what do I know him from? There's other things I've seen him in.
Oh yeah. Well, I just saw him in The Phoenician Scheme. I don't know if you saw that.
Not yet. It's on my list.
He was also in The French Dispatch.
Oh, that's where I remember him from. Okay. But still, I love him. He's like the best side character in this fucking movie, because he's just like, hey, can we maybe like meet in a different place than you just appearing in the hospital? And he's like, and Adam's like, no. And he's like, well, it's less exposure for you, but this is mutual exposure, which makes me comfortable.
Yep. Pretty much.
And I'm like, I just love how he's just like, he's clearly accepted the position he's in. he doesn't really feel like he can refuse. So he's happy to take Adam's money.
He gets a fat wad of money every time. So,
yeah, I love how they don't really specify sums. The vampires just hand people like stacks of money and just like,
yeah.
God, this movie's got so much. Where do we even start? Like, how do we start digging into this? Because this is a very complicated spread.
Well,
let's tie it back to Climate of the Hunter. You know, we don't have an audio narration for this fancy meal.
Right. Well, let's just kind of set the scene. So, like, the movie starts with this beautiful musical montage. We see the record spinning and the camera is spinning above our two protagonists, Adam and Eve, as they just kind of like sprawl in their respective homes.
And Eve's environment is full of lots of books and art. And Adam's environment is all full of vinyl and music and instruments. So like we get a lot of information about these two characters just in this one scene. And like what they prioritize and like it's almost like a representation of them sprawled out that we're just like slowly panning down and spinning down to them. And the music is so beautiful. Like I went and rewatched just this scene. I found it on YouTube and I just watched just that scene and it was so beautiful. The movie for the most part kind of has meh camera work, but that scene was really good.
Yeah, and so like a lot of the movie is vibing.
Just vibing, yeah.
Adam's whole setup is very like bohemian cyberpunk because he's like taught himself electronics and he has like all of his instruments rigged up, but he also has like he basically FaceTimes with Eve, but he has this setup where she's using an iPhone, but he can like put her on this like old-timey TV.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like because he really values like science, but the thing, you know, he's been around for 1,000 years. So over time, he's not going to just update something if it works. Yeah. So it just works. Like later on, we see him with that generator that he built and he's like cut himself off from the human power grid. And
it's like some kind of Tesla coil.
Yeah. He's like, Tesla was a genius and they fucking crucified him. And it's like,
he values all of this like
ingenuity
and intellectualism, and he sees like the way that the world repays that, and that's a major contributor to his depression.
That's and we start the movie basically with him asking for his I'm gonna call him his familiar, Ian.
Right. He's just some guy, but basically
but like the relationship they have is like what a traditional vampire movie would have as someone's familiar. He's his Igor.
Okay.
Like, because he does things for him. He just goes and fetches things for him. He buys him stuff. Like his whole job is that. And so he shows up with a delivery of guitars and he's like, hey, look, I found this really cool guitar. I found the guitar you asked for, but also I found these other two guitars.
Yeah.
And you can tell that Adam really appreciates his relationship with Ian, but he's also just depressed as fuck. And so he asks Adam if he knows anybody that can craft him a wooden bullet.
Yeah. Wooden bullet of the hardest wood you can find. When he first asked for it, you know, maybe he's planning to kill some other vampire, but it pretty quickly,
as soon as he has it, we see him put the gun to his chest and like pantomime blowing his fucking heart out. So like that's dark and pretty fucking bleak. And so we're like, Adam, he needs help. But like, how do you provide therapy for a vampire who's been around and seen it all? Yeah. Like, a lot of therapy is a sense of discovery, but he's just over it. It's not that he has to discover more about himself. It's just that he legitimately has seen time and time again how the world has just gone to shit, and also watches the environment has been poisoned and the blood has been poisoned. And it's like everything that matters to him has turned into ash. It's the stereotypical immortal problem.
And it's, in our day and age, it's very relatable to like look out the window and think we just fuck this up every time.
I resonated with this film on some level because as an artist, the lifeblood of the world that inspires me, that I take into myself to fuel my creativity has been poisoned. The input into my system that motivates me to make art has made my art dark because there's not a lot of positivity in the world. And like I could force myself to make positive art, but the input I'm getting has been tainted.
Yeah.
Right. And like imagine like things have always been hard. There's always been plague, there's always been death, all this shit. But somebody living in the 1500s, it's quiet. There's a lot of time to just take in things. Like when we think about like the 1500s or the 1600s, we look at the media of the media that depicts those times, and we project a lot of our modern busyness onto them.
Yeah.
But the average person living in fucking Florence in the 1500s, life was quiet.
Yeah.
There wasn't this constant input of stimulus constantly hitting them all the time. The speed at which information transmitted and the speed at which things happened was much slower. Yeah. My point with this is that as an artist back then, there was so much more time for you to just process and put your art out there and master your craft, and you didn't have to be constantly on the go. The demands on your time were a lot more evened out over the course of your life, and you had more personal time to just make things.
Yeah.
That's like where folk art comes from. Like it's really kind of a lost thing. Most of the time folk art these days takes the form of people on the street trying to make a living doing it.
Yeah.
But in the past, it was just somebody who just made folk art because they had time on their hands to make something, and it was an easy craft to pick up. Playing an instrument was something that you could just do. And it wasn't like a thing you were making a living on. You just learned how to do it because you had time on your hands to learn how to do it. Like in the winter, you're shut inside your house because it's fucking frozen over and you can't really do much. And so you're just trying to keep warm and live, and you have plenty of time to just make something. That's lost today. We don't really have that anymore. Our blood is poisoned.
Yeah, and you were calling it your creative inputs, and that I think is heavily implied to be the metaphor. And that's why they're vampires. Like they take blood as their input,
and it's orgasmic for them.
Yeah. We see them drink the blood, and it's like a drug.
Yeah, it's filmed in the same way that like the first time that Jesse does heroin in Breaking Bad.
Exactly.
And at first I was like, are they making a drug metaphor? But no, it's just like to take in good blood, to have good input to you as an artist is orgasmic. When you see something that's true and passionate and pure, that isn't tainted by all this horrible shit that's going on all the time. The like equivalent I could think of when I saw that was like when you go see people that you love and you have a moment, a serendipitous moment of just like everyone's happy and at ease. We don't really get too many of those these days anymore.
Yeah.
Because the speed of life is light speed now. 100 years ago, like maybe Taft did something fucked up, but like it would take you like months to hear about it.
Right.
And it wouldn't affect you the same way that all of this horrible shit that's happening right now is affecting people.
Right.
Because it just took time for things to just travel. So an executive order was signed. We're going to round up all these people. It just took time for it to happen. And it was like a big deal. Like in World War II, when we rounded up all of the Japanese people and put them into fucking internment camps, reparations were paid after that because people didn't have this constant input from the atrocity engine overshadowing it. So they fucking paid reparations to people that were put in those internment camps. But nowadays, all of these people that are being rounded up by ICE are being put in the same situation. And I bet you that 10 years from now, no reparations are going to be paid because the atrocity engine is going to just pipe out 10 more fucking horrible things that are going to happen since then. And people are going to forget. That's kind of what I'm getting at with the tainting of our blood. Like things happen so fast. The horrible things happen so fast. There's no reprieve for us to have good things replenish us.
Yeah.
Makes us sick. Kills Marlowe in the film because he couldn't get the good stuff anymore. And he's a writer. He's a writer and he dies because he eats bad blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's talk about Marlowe.
Christopher Marlowe. He's a contemporary to Shakespeare.
Okay.
And in this movie, he's a vampire.
And in this movie, it's implied that he wrote some of
Shakespeare's
plays posthumously after he became a vampire and
yes.
was presumed dead. Adam is also a musician, and he's made some music that people really resonate with, but he just loathes the idea of being famous.
Right. Maybe because in the past he has tried it and he fucking hates it. Yeah. But he still wants his art to be out there. He still has to have his art leak out into the world. Despite the fact that he doesn't want people to know it's his art. Yeah. But then he also gets defensive when he hears his music being played in another place.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a hipster.
Yeah. Through and through. Yeah.
He's an ancient hipster, and he wants his music to be underground so it's only heard by the right people, not the fucking zombie masses.
But the problem is that when you put art into the world, you can't control.
Yeah.
It's like a child. Once that's left you raise a child, you make this piece of art, and then you put the art out into the world, and the art will do what it does.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we can tie back to Dave Made a Maze a little bit there, where
you lose control of it once you. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying with the Dave Made a Maze episode. Is like you lose control of the art at a certain point. You know,
it takes on a life of its own. But yeah, this idea of producing heartfelt, soulful art and putting it out into the world, and the importance of that is something that comes up a lot in this movie. And when Marlowe is on his deathbed and Adam and Eve are talking to him, Adam says, even if it was posthumous and under, given credit was given to
the wrong person,
at least you got it out there.
And I think that speaks to the spirit of art.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't matter as much that you personally are beloved for your art, just that you create for the sake of creating. Because if you're creating because you want to be famous, or you're creating because you want people to like it, then you're corrupting your creation from the start, because you're going to be beholden to what you think other people want of you, and you're not free to just make what you want to make.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong about someone making art for commission or whatever.
Right.
But it's just, I'm going to sound like a fucking hipster saying this.
Yeah. Embrace it.
But it means more to have art that comes from an earnest, deep, true place where you were making it for yourself and not for others.
Yeah.
I don't make art for anyone but myself and for the people I care about. When I write, I'm writing things that mean something to me, not to other people. And when other people read them and love them, that feels good. But it feels better than if I was writing stuff with the idea that other people will like it.
Right.
Because then I'm making a product, not art.
And you've succeeded as an entrepreneur, rather than putting your soul out there and having someone appreciate it.
And if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. There's no judgment in my voice right now. It's more just not my monkeys, not my circus.
That's a good portmanteau of that.
Yeah.
Just not my monkeys.
Oh my God. I just met...
That'll be the title of this episode.
Not my monkeys. But yeah, like, sure, if you want to make products and be successful and win at capitalism, go with God, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I just feel I really resonate with the idea that art should just be made for art's sake.
Yeah.
Because he's like making these like moody, industrial, ambient guitar pieces using like all kinds of strange methods to get really strange sounds. We get like a montage of him making a track. And we hear it as he's making it, and it's beautiful, and it's full, and it's coming from a raw place, and it's speaking to his depression.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been making a lot of funeral pieces, because he's like making his funeral music.
Yeah.
He's going to kill himself until Eve stops him and confronts him about it.
Mm-hmm. And that is the music that resonates with the world and just spreads.
Right, because in some ways he's making funeral music for the world.
Yeah.
Because we're all depressed. We all realize everything's fucked and it's just going to get worse. Because the people who have their finger on the button are motivated by selfishness and being awful, horrible people. And the masses, the normal people, were just having to constantly like juke to the side, the left and right, trying to avoid the piss driblets that are pissing down on us.
Yeah.
That feeling of trapped, you might as well be an immortal vampire who is done with the world, because all he's ever made has been corrupted and abused and fallen apart.
And everyone he's ever admired.
Yeah, because Eve is like, oh, what about all of your what about your scientists and your alchemists? Mm-hmm. You know, the magicians, it was like your wizard scientists is what she calls them. It's implied that Adam has invested in human science. He's been like there pushing people towards things. And he's like, well, yeah, but then they made fucking bombs. Like, I showed them how to push the split the atom, the very foundation of the world, apart, and they made bombs with it. And it's like, he's got a point. Like he's been there. He's tried. He wants to stoke human creativity and genuine, pure art. But he feels like every time he's gotten involved, he's just fucked everything up, and that's why he's depressed. Whereas Eve has a more nuanced take on things, I think.
Yeah, let's talk about Eve. She has an appreciation for all types of art, but she has a special appreciation for books
and literature. Yeah.
When she makes the trip to Detroit, you know, she's flying through like multiple countries to get there, and she packs several suitcases just full of old books.
And as she's packing them, she's like reading them, and she's getting excited, and she's like smiling, and and they're in all kinds of languages, and it's just like, whereas Adam seems to represent like ingenuity and creation, she seems to represent like tradition and academia, and just like he's like the cutting edge and she's the body of the work, basically.
Okay. Yeah, she also has a special vampire talent where she can touch an object and know when it was made and like its history. It
seems to be a vampire trait because they all wear those gloves and they ask permission to touch each other. So I think in this movie they all have like a tacto psychic power, but she's just really particularly good at it.
I mean, Adam isn't able to do it.
He is. He touches the bullet and he knows exactly what it's made out of when he gives it to him. He can't. He said because he says like, I can't quite date it. I've tried. I can get it close. And she's like, she touches it and gives him the exact year.
So like maybe she's just like more attuned.
Yeah, she's better at it than he is.
Okay,
yeah,
maybe. Anyway,
it's not very, very clear, but they all wear those gloves and they all ask permission to touch each other. And I just always, I was reading that as they were.
There's definitely something.
They read information from each other by touching each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, for a while they're just kind of like
vibing,
lounging.
Yeah. Having conversations, playing chess.
Yeah. Yeah. Chess is I think, an important scene. They're talking and Adam doesn't want to talk because he's trying to concentrate on chess, which Eve is clearly better at. And she keeps asking him questions, and then he makes a careless move and she checkmates. And he's like, oh, you're ruthless. And she's like, no, I'm a survivor. And Adam says it was all the talking. And I think that's maybe a good microcosm, or it wasn't as important as I thought it would be when I rewatched it.
At least it's a microcosm of the dynamic between the two of them. Because, like, you know, it's not like they're not like literally spirits of these two forces in the world, but they are emissaries of them. Like, she represents a body of appreciation of what's already here. And he's more focused on what can be new things. He wants to make new things. He wants to push people to make new things. She's an appreciator of things that already exist.
That's true. It is also a bit of foreshadowing that death or, bad circumstance comes for you when you're distracted. And they're kind of blindsided by Ava.
Yeah, Ava. Who is
fucking them over.
I fucking hate her. God.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to hate her, but like, I particularly dislike the personality of this character.
Yeah. It was instantaneous.
No, yeah, literally. As she comes on the screen, I'm like, I hate her.
Yeah, so this is a character that everybody has had dreams about. So, which she implies was like a psychic signal that she sent out.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it worked.
Yeah. But she just shows up at Adam's door. She's described as Eve's sister.
Yes.
Which could be like a vampire sister or a literal sister. We don't really know. But she shows up and she's younger, both in body and probably
in vampirism.
Yeah. She's very like carefree and selfish. She's used to getting away with things because she's cute, and Adam has zero patience for it.
Yeah, hard relate. I fucking hate her. Like, Adam's like, get out of my house, and Eve is like, no, let her stay. And I was like, no, Adam. I was expecting Adam to get the gun that he had the wooden bullet in and shoot her.
Yeah, if only.
Honestly, because she would have deserved it, honestly, because she kills Ian.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally only in like 15, 18 minutes of this movie. She's not really in a lot of it, but she shows up, drinks almost all of Adam's blood supply.
Yeah.
And then kills his like only human friend.
Yep.
And then she's just like, oh, I'm sorry. He was so cute. And I just like, I'm like, oh God, like put her, I need to put her down like a dog. Like, she needs to die. Like,
yeah,
she's a liability, honestly. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
She really seems to represent the attempt to have genuine art as a product, because she's so saturated in the human world. She's lived in LA.
Mm-hmm.
She's like just surrounded by people, and she is used to not just getting her way, but she's used to just being able to do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to get your way about something, but it's like she probably just goes out there and eats people and doesn't even think about it. And it's really telling that she's watching YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They all go to bed and they wake up, and then she's watching YouTube, and Adam comes in and is like, what the fuck is this? And turns it off. Because she's like she's the newest wave of this movement of of the internet and like art as a product that is just put out there.
It's like postmodern. Yeah.
Which is not a good thing. At least the movie is saying, and I agree with. Like, in a rare instance, Ari actually agrees with the point of the fucking movie, which is that this stuff is not good.
Yeah.
And I say this while fully aware of the fact that we are putting a podcast out onto the internet.
Right.
But like, we're making this podcast because we want to, because we have a passion for media, and we wanted to talk about weird media. We wanted to involve other people in the conversation. Mm-hmm. But Ava represents like a parasitic relationship with that, where she's sustained by this saturation in the human world. And she's like, oh, he's so cute, I ate him.
Yeah.
Like, the other vampires don't act like that.
Yeah. No. We do see when Eve is on the plane, somebody cuts his finger accidentally, and she's has a like Jasper moment.
And Adam has one too. When they're in the hospital seeing a lady get her leg wrapped up. But they have control. They understand. Yes. They have restraint. Art without restraint can be just as bad as art made as a product.
Yeah. Ava, if she was on that plane, she would just like slide into the seat next to him and start sucking his finger.
Yeah, and eat him. Just eat him. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you shouldn't be making art for anybody else, but you should also think about the impact that what you put out into the world has, because there is a responsibility to at least try to not just put out corrupting things into the world.
Because you can just inane garbage.
Yeah, because you can make corruptive things. And we can talk about the ethics of things all day long, but the point is that Ava represents a very unethical side of this. If we're talking about the vampires as representative of artists, then and art appreciators, then Ava is a toxic side of that.
I think the term that I would use is maybe irony poisoned.
Yeah.
Because she's watching, when he comes in, some like schlocky
vampire thing.
Yeah, like Dracula, something from the 70s. And she's like, what? It's stupid. I like it. I don't remember exactly what she says, but
yeah,
like her relationship with art is like just consuming this fluffy, dumb candy, I guess.
That's true. Yeah. Like, and she doesn't really make anything good. She's destructive.
She puts no good into the world.
She's just destructive.
Yeah.
You could say that she makes destruction, because like when Adam comes in to the room and sees Ian dead, like it's Eve that comes in first, and she's like carrying a cup of blood, and then she drops it on the floor because she sees that Eve has eaten Ian, and that all of the entire room has been destroyed.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, it's like she destroyed his guitar, and it's like...
Yeah.
That's the scene where I was like, oh, Adam's going to kill her.
Yeah.
But he just kicks her out and just says like, get the fuck out of my house is what he says. Yeah. But she's feeling sick after eating Ian too. And, we can kind of put two and two together that the same thing that happened to Marlowe might happen to her, where she might die from the literally being poisoned by the blood she's consumed.
I mean, she seems a lot younger. Like, I think she'll bounce back from it, but yeah. And I think they say like, well, what did you expect? He's in the music industry.
Yeah. He's done drugs. His blood is poisoned.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's so beholden to her own appetite that she makes herself sick because of it. If she had the restraint that Adam and Eve have, she would not have made herself sick by eating someone that was not pure blood. As weird as that sounds. And that's representing, though, like when you don't have restraint with what you do, you will fuck yourself over, because restraint is a good thing to have. Discipline's a good thing to have. You can't... there's a difference between being free and then just doing whatever the fuck you want with no thought of consequence.
Yep.
I don't know. Difference between anarchy and liberation.
All right. So after she drinks Ian, then they have to dispose of the body.
Oh, and they were pissed at her for not turning him. They're like, she at least could have turned him.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah.
Yep.
Why didn't she do that? She's like, oh, he was so cute. Like, okay, then turn him, bitch.
Yep.
Oh my God. I hate her so much. I really hate this character. The movie is great.
In a good way, though.
Yeah, no, it's a good that I hate her because the movie wants me to.
Yeah. They take a drive. They go to this, the Michigan Theater, I think is what they say it is. And it's this gorgeous, huge vaulted ceilings with all these ornate carvings and stuff. And she's describing when it was built and how and why. And like, it was a movie theater and a music hall. And now it's a car park.
Yes.
Like literally they just like took out some of the walls and you can park in this place. And I'm pretty sure that is a real location in Detroit.
Yeah, it is.
And
they dump a body in the fastest acting ass that the only moment of the movie
kind of a silly.
Yeah, like it was the only point in the movie where I was like, bullshit. Like
there's this pool like of stagnant water in these like ruins basically, and they toss the body in and he like bubbles up as a skeleton to the surface.
And like I know what they were going for with it, but like I thought they were just going to hide him in still water because people don't fuck with that. It's got fucking brain eating amoebas in it.
Yeah.
If in case you're into urban exploration, please don't fuck with still water. It's not good for you. But I thought they were just going to do that and just like, throw him down and have him sink into the ruins of this place. But no, I was like, it took me the only thing that took me out of the movie was this scene.
Yeah.
Into the movie's credit, it does immediately get you back on track though.
I haven't seen all of his library, but that does seem like a very Jarmusch humor moments. It just didn't fit with the vibe that he was going for with this film.
I just wouldn't call this film a comedy. Like, it's just so difficult. Like, the fact that it's classified as that. Just
don't go into it expecting What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Or any comedy. Like, we did laugh, especially at like Stephen Wright's scenes, but it's very dry.
Yeah, I would classify it more as a horror romance.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like if you're like me and you're a romantic and you're just a sucker for it, this movie is perfect for you.
Yeah.
If you want a dark comedy, go watch What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah. Honestly, even Beau is Afraid, I think, is more of a black comedy than this is.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. It's also more depressing, but also more funny. Anyway, moving on. They dump the body. They fly back to...
Yeah, they have to like leave town now. Like,
yeah. And leave all of their instruments and books and...
Well, like the important thing is like up until this point, Adam had been very careful not to be seen in public with Ian.
Yeah.
But just before Ava kills him, they go out in public to go watch some music together. Yeah. So not only did Ava fuck them over, she is the catalyst for why they have to flee. Because if Ian had just died and disappeared and they hadn't had that scene, then they would have just gone on with their lives.
Right.
But they have to flee because people link Adam to Ian.
Yep.
And that's not good for vampires, obviously.
Yep. So pretty quickly after they're back in Tangier, they discover their blood connection is missing. The delivery's late. They have to go find Marlowe. They find out he's dying. They have the conversation we talked about earlier.
And the French doctor is dying, so it's like that source of blood has been cut off too.
Yeah. They're just kind of at that point resigning themselves to their fate. Like, okay, we're going to starve here. Let's like make the most of it. I'm going to buy you a present. And Eve takes their last wad of money.
She's sort of like, give me all of your money, and then disappears. It's like, that was an example of the comedy being really good, because it was like, because he doesn't blink, he just hands her his whole pile of cash.
Yeah.
But then they hear this beautiful music. Adam hears this beautiful singing from just across the alleyway, and he goes in and sees this woman performing this music, and he's just inspired by it.
And it sounds very similar to his own music.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was his, but they didn't mention it, so it must not have been.
Right. At least it was spiritually like his, it was like, the way I read that scene was like somebody had heard his music and then been inspired to make their own art.
Yeah.
That was how I read it. Because she's got this beautiful voice, and it goes on for a long time. Like it's like a music video. We listened to the whole song.
Yeah, and then Eve comes back and she's purchased this like lute or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it's actually called, but the gesture is that she's like, I know you had to leave all your instruments, but here, I bought you this instrument.
Yeah. They talk a little bit about the singer, and he's like, oh, she's one of the real ones. She's going to make it. Hopefully she won't be famous.
Yeah, well, Eve is like, she's going to be really famous someday, and Adam was like, God, I hope not.
Yeah. And then they have like basically what they seem to think are their final moments, sitting together, playing this lute, and he's like so delirious with hunger at this point he can barely like keep that up. And they're talking about, you know, their relationship and
quantum entanglement,
because Eve loves when Adam explains these scientific theories and loves the way that she tells them. He talks about how, you know, if you split a certain type of particle, I forget like
it's if you take two atoms and you put them together in a certain way and then you take them apart, they're now entangled. Yeah. So actions done on one will be done on the other, and it will literally happen across the universe.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, that's an interesting theory." And he's like, "No, it's been proven, and it has. We've demonstrated quantum entanglement works."
I first remember hearing about that in the Ender's Game series. That was the explanation for their like instantaneous communication across galaxy or whatever.
Right, and that is a real thing. Like the future of computing is quantumly entangled things that can communicate with each other. You'll still use the old communication networks, but if you have a node on Earth and then a node on the moon, and you send information through the nodes, they'll happen instantly. And then you can transmit it traditionally after that fact. That's the idea. Because that way you can send information across vast areas of space.
We're getting really nerdy with this, but they were getting really
they get nerdy with it too.
It was more clearly a like romantic metaphor. For two lovers. And as they're explaining this, they see two young lovers come out into the night air and
how convenient,
enjoying themselves. And they're like, well, we don't, I guess, have to die here. We could like drink blood the old fashioned way.
Was it so 15th century is what they say?
Right. And then Eve is like, we could just turn them.
We don't have to murder them. We can turn them into vampires.
Yeah.
And I liked that ending a little bit, like the idea of like, the romance of these two people means that they get to be like the hope that Adam and Eve have is that these two lovers will be lovers after they're turned as well. Like, that's how they comfort themselves with what they're about to do.
And we don't get to see that happen because the last shot of the movie is them like moving in for the kill.
In a very in a very pulpy looking shot. Like way like up until this point the movie's been very like grounded in its framing and how it shows things, but then them walking up to the camera and their fangs baring and their like hands outstretched felt very Hammer.
A little bit. But it's so brief. It's like a few frames practically. I really like the ending emotionally. Like the aesthetic and the vibe is like great for me.
I was so pleasantly surprised by how this film chose to conduct itself. Because the whole time I was just expecting a shoe to drop. Like when I say it's a postmodern film, it just is like, no, there's no shoe to drop. There's no shoe.
The way that I like read it the first time and the way that I was remembering it was more cynical at the end. What I thought we were going to get out of this was like, okay, they have this privileged life, but when it comes down to the wire and they're hungry, they're going to eat somebody. It felt like them like going feral in the streets kind of. And when we watched it this time, I have a much more optimistic view. But I think there is like still that kind of ambiguity there. So that would be like kind of the shoe drop that I felt the first time that I watched it.
I guess I just didn't feel that way. Because like, okay, if a modernist or contemporary director had done this film, it would have ended with a more bombastic, these are vampires, these are fucking monsters scene, in my opinion. Of like a scene where they do go feral and we see it and it's gory or it's really violent. And then like that's like the final scene where we're like, oh, this whole time we've been like super pulled in with the romance of these vampires, but they are monsters at the end. Whereas with this, it's like, no, even in their dying moment where they are going a little feral and their bloodlust is really heavy, they're like, yeah, but we'll turn them, right? Like their ethics hold true even as they are starving as vampires, which goes to show that, if it was cynical, they would have just killed them. It wouldn't have been a big deal. They wouldn't have cared. But because they took the extra moment to be like, well, like...
Yeah. I mean, and it did seem like Adam wasn't thinking that way until Eve said it. I think he was like, oh, how romantic. We'll only turn them.
Oh, okay. That's fair. But still, my point is it feels less cynical.
Yeah.
And it was made with such an even hand that it doesn't feel out of place.
Yeah.
We got a slice of life of these vampires. We just get to zoom in on these vampires with a particularly tumultuous moment of their lives.
Yeah.
Where Adam's having an internal crisis. Eve wants to comfort the one she loves. And then they happen to get fucked over on their blood supply.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have high stakes the way that like a lot of other vampire media would try to have high stakes.
Right. For sure.
And the fact that our protagonists are vampires and at no point them being vampires is portrayed as particularly monstrous makes it so that when Ava does her thing, it's really bad. Like, it's a bad thing. Like, the Adam is pissed off at her.
Yeah.
Showing that he still cares, even if he doesn't show it externally as much. Because it wasn't seen as like an inconvenience. Like, if they were truly too far gone in monsters, it would have been just an inconvenience. They would have been like, oh, not again. Yeah. Whereas he was like, you can't believe you fucking killed him and you didn't turn him, and it's like, and it serves you right for drinking him, and now you're sick. Like, it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
There's a lot we could say, but I think the core of this movie is very much centered around the art.
Yeah.
And like how your creativity is fueled by an intake of the experiences of others and your own experiences. The metaphor breaks down a little bit when you zoom too far in, but like on the surface, you have to take things in order to be creative.
Yeah.
If you just live in your own head all the time, it stifles your creativity.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was good for Adam to get out of Detroit for a while. You know, it's a place where he could be reclusive and moody and like make his reclusive, moody art.
But it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
Although he does say like people used to live around here. Like,
true.
So when he moved there, it was surrounded by people.
Maybe. Or he could have just been talking about the area. And a fun detail is they were like, oh, I can show you Jack White's house. This is where he grew up. Because Jim Jarmusch and Jack White are friends.
Oh. They're like, I love Jack White. I didn't have any context for that scene, so I was just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like, you know, Detroit lore or whatever, but...
Detroit lore. I don't have any levels in that skill, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I feel like we've touched on all the important bits, and the rest...
You just got to experience it for yourself.
Just vibing.
Yeah. Honestly, like, it's not even a... we spoil every movie we talk about, but like we spoiled this movie, but it doesn't change the experience, in my opinion. This is not a movie where you have to see it blind, because it's really just about the vibes. Like, you know, if you like just chilling to lo-fi synth, lo-fi hip hop, and like, or chill wave or whatever, and just put that on your TV, or, you know, how I like to listen to Macro Blank, like, that's what this movie is. It's that, but with vampires.
All right. What was one thing that you liked and one thing that you disliked?
It's hard to pick for likes.
Yeah.
I think the thing I liked the most was the opening scene.
Yeah.
Because if you want to talk about microcosm of the movie, I feel like it's so brilliantly made that scene sets up so much about what you're about to receive.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell you that. And so when you go back and watch it again, suddenly it feels so much more complete. Like, Adam is depressed. And so when we see him, he looks depressed. But when we see her, she just looks calm and just kind of, she's vibing. He's depressed. He's like the way he's sprawled out, he's like, ugh, like so tired. He looks exhausted. She just looks relaxed.
Yeah.
And we see so much of their two characters just set up in an opening scene, but done in a way that you don't realize how much groundwork was done in that opening scene until you've watched the movie and you see their dynamic. So I really appreciate that. That's like probably one of my favorite opening scenes that I've seen in a while, in terms of just like how much it just sets everything up without like hitting you over the head with it.
Yeah.
Because like even down to the fact that we're spinning like the record vinyl, because it's about music and art, and it's about how we are beholden to these things in a way that is difficult to quantify. But when you visually see that they're literally spinning with the record, it's like and the fact that she's the one to call him, like she's the one to pick up the phone and call him, makes it more impactful too.
Yeah.
And just like, you know, be there for each other and love each other.
Yeah.
Don't isolate yourself in your creativity, but see the connections that you have with others as your strength rather than necessarily as something to be. It's not something you should see as something you can turn off and turn back on again and come back to when you feel like a interaction and being connected to others is a source of strength in and of itself. The thing I least liked about it, because I really like this movie front to back, but I wish that the Ava plot was more properly integrated into the movie. Because she kind of just shows up, fucks everything up, and then leaves.
Yeah.
And I would have liked a little bit more overt setup for her showing up, because they talk about the dream or whatever, and it's like, okay, but it seemed to be going in a direction that it doesn't, and I just kind of felt unfulfilling. And maybe that's the point, but if I had to pick something I liked the least about it, that would be it.
Okay.
What about you? What's one thing you liked and one thing you didn't like?
I'm gonna say their relationship, Adam and Eve's relationship. These are two people who have been married for God knows how long, centuries, and they're at the point where they don't have to necessarily live together. It's like their equivalent of living in separate rooms is living on opposite ends of the globe, but it's okay because they still love each other. They keep in contact. And, you know, when Adam needs Eve, she comes to him. And through every interaction that they have, and a lot of this is the brilliant characterization of both Tom Hiddleston and Tilda Swinton, they just feel like a real couple.
A real couple that genuinely loves each other.
Yeah. And that's really interesting to see and contributes to the good vibes of this movie.
Yeah, it's really telling that like the healthiest relationship I've seen in a piece of media lately has been two fucking vampires.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because the temptation with media constantly is to be like, cause interpersonal drama between couples, and it's just always, it's nice to see a movie that does not use their relationship as collateral for the story. Like there's no stakes in their relationship. At no point do they have problems that cause them to think that they're going to split up.
The biggest problem they have is that Adam is considering suicide and Eve is
rightfully upset about that. I don't know. It was just refreshing to see a movie that just didn't make me feel like the couple was going to break up at any second. I could invest in their relationship without feeling like I'm wasting my time.
Yeah. Dislike is hard.
It is. It's hard for this movie, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I gave this a 9 out of 10. Not a 10 out of 10 just because it feels like it doesn't have that kind of like power, I guess.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
My rating scale is 5 stars, but
yeah, I mean mine too. I just doubled it so I could use whole numbers.
Yeah, whole numbers.
I gave it a 92%. No.
Okay, Rotten Tomatoes.
But like it's kind of everything that it needs to be.
Okay, how about this? If you had to take one element of it that you would improve.
It could have just been longer, I think.
Yeah?
I could have vibed for longer.
You know what? If this had been like a 3-hour art house, like I can kind of get with that.
Yeah. I want the extended cut, honestly.
More conversations between Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Because like that's the heart of this movie, is them just talking to each other. So I can kind of see what you're getting at. Like,
and maybe it could have like fleshed out the artistic ideas that it was exploring. So yeah, that's my like soft dislike, I guess.
It was too short. That's high praise for people like us to say.
Yeah.
Because honestly, some of these movies we watched, I'm like, this has been too long.
Yeah. And Jim Jarmusch is a director who really is known for taking his time. Sometimes he takes too much time and it starts to feel like indulgent. But
didn't feel that with this one.
He was cooking with this one.
Yeah, it was definitely cooking with gasoline for this one for sure.
Yeah. What I'm finding from him is that he's really good at endings. Creating an ending that has like an emotion to it that carries with you through the credits.
And seamless endings. That's what I would say. Yeah, this ending was seamless. Because like sometimes you get an ending and it's like, okay, wow, that was like a Band-Aid getting ripped off.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was like, I didn't feel denied by the ending, but I definitely could be like, oh, I could just see how the next day would just continue for these two vampires. Like they just, it felt just like it eased itself into, we're done with the little vignette of their life that we're getting, and
just enough ambiguity that, maybe in this state they won't be able to restrain themselves and they'll drink the whole guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
but the movie gives you enough faith in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
The movie gives you enough faith in them to be like, well, I'm sure they'll have enough control. Like it.
Yeah.
It's earned. The ending is very earned in this movie. Whereas I feel like some of the other movies we've watched, the ending just comes out. Just, yep, we're ending it now. Like, I felt like this was like the opposite end of the spectrum to Mad God. That's what I was feeling. I was like, well, what I mean is like, I felt the same level of satisfaction in the ending of Mad God that I feel in this movie. And whereas Mad God is all adrenaline the whole way through, and it's very esoteric and difficult to follow what's going on. This is literally the polar opposite, but they still converge at the center of, I felt very satisfied walking away from this movie.
Yeah.
When the ending was happening, I was just in my head hearing Clock Out from Mad God, just like feeling good. I don't know. That's just how my brain is wiring it. I don't know. But this is the optimistic take on what Mad God was saying. Because Mad God's about how life is this atrocity engine that grinds us all down and we devour each other. Whereas in this, it's like, no. We can ethically take from each other as much as we need to without killing each other, without devouring each other. There's a hopeful way to sustain yourself and still exist, and while life is consumption, life does not have to be devouring.
I'm really glad you said that, because that's a really good way to like summarize the thesis of this movie, I think.
Whereas like Holy Mountain was like a call and response in a spiritual way. This movie is a call and response in a like central nihilism versus optimism way.
Yeah. One more movie. I thought of this earlier.
One more movie before Bad Mom.
Yeah. I thought of this earlier in the recording, and then we like moved on. But Inside Llewyn Davis is a good companion piece to this. What?
I'm sorry, my mind's just in a bad place. I'm like, oh yeah, Inside of Them, absolutely.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is that a porno?
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, it's a sequel to A Passage Through Pamela. Anyway, Inside Llewyn Davis, also about a depressed man like grappling with his art and the value of art to the world. I've talked about this with you before. It's a comfort movie for me, and I cannot explain why. Because on the surface, it's pretty depressing of him like grinding away, like trying to like get anyone to care about this art that he pours his soul into, in a world that just wants to commodify it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. And that's really the heart of this whole experience, is that like you need to make art for yourself, but the other side is you need to be okay if people don't get it or resonate with it. Like, to be creative is to be creative for creation's sake. That's how I feel about it, at least. I don't know if that's how you feel about it. And honestly, I can feel like it's a good source of discussion for the audience, because, listener, how do you feel about that? Because like, I feel like art should never be made for anything other than the passion of the game.
Yeah, but should is like in with a huge asterisk, because we live in a capitalist hellscape that forces
commodity,
everyone's hobby, to be turned into a side hustle,
which is sad.
Yep.
But it's like, yeah, like this podcast is an investment from me every month. Our Podbean subscription, for example, like it's the amount of resources we've already put into this. At a certain point, we have to do things to make money so that we can sustain this project.
Right.
That's corrupted blood. We have to, in some part, take that poisoned blood enough so we can survive, and still continue to make our art.
But you can patronize us on not Patreon.
On Coffee.
That's ko-fi I call it Kofi because it's close to the Dutch spelling, and that's the Dutch pronunciation of coffee. Anyway, they spelled it weird, so I say it weird. Kofi.com/emissaries from the void.
I haven't made it yet, but
well, by the time this comes out, we better have it up.
We better have it up. Yeah. No, send me, whatever. Oh my God, fuck. This movie was too good.
All of it's going into the podcast.
All of it's going into the podcast. This movie was too good, and it's going to be hard for the next film to follow up on the vibes. You know, sometimes I just want to find another vampire to chill with.
You just got a turntable. We should put a record on and just
spin.
Just spin. This has been Emissaries from the Void with Ari Stell Hawthorne and myself, Tristan Bowersox. New episodes will be released every other week with short bonus content we're calling liminals in the off weeks. The intro music is Now I Hear Little Dreams by Captive Portal, and the outro music is Arcadia by White Bat Audio. You can find us on Blue Sky at Void Emissaries, and remember that's single M double S. You can find Ari as Obscurity on most platforms and me on Blue Sky and Letterboxd as TB McQueen. The latter is where you will find our watch list and suggest movies you'd like to hear us dissect. You can also email us at emissariesfromthevoid@outlook.com to give feedback, alternate takes on the movies we've discussed, questions, suggestions, etc. Emissaries from the Void is a Void Opal podcast produced by TB McQueen Creative. For something completely different, listen to my other podcast, Fan Fiction Theater.
As the world unravels under the weight of an immortal sorcerer's despair, Tula must confront the man who quite literally stole her heart. Along with a cunning demon bound to her by desperate choices, she journeys through a land scarred by destruction, seeking to be made whole again before darkness consumes everything. A tale of resilience, reckoning, and the cost of hope. A Bird for a Heart explores what it means to hold on to your humanity when the world demands you let it go. A Bird for a Heart is a fantasy fiction podcast, written and recorded by Michael J. Patrick.
Available wherever fine podcasts are found.